Hey guys, good afternoon, everyone. Um, are we live? Yes, I think we're live. Okay, I can already see some comments coming in. Good afternoon, everyone who are watching right now. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I pray that it will be more amazing after you watch this episode. Now, uh, again, my name is Alec Cuenca. For those who don't know me, my name is Alec Cuenca. I am the host of the podcast, Small Talk Podcast, the number two educational podcast here in the Philippines. I'm a content creator, but for now, I will be your host for this free short course by ESME. So, welcome to the live webinar series of ESME.ph, an e-learning marketplace for professional Filipinos where you can build relevant and in-demand skills. You can like our page. You can visit our page, Facebook page at ESME Philippines, and visit our website at www.esme.ph. For those who are watching on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, feel free to share this video to the people who you think will be interested, and do not hesitate to ask your questions while the live session is going, and we'll try our best to answer every single one of them. And today's topic is a very special topic because all of us, especially the people who are creating their own business, who are starting their own business, everything's online, right? So now that everything's online, we need to find a way to for our products and our service to be enticing to the attention, and enticing to the people who can see our products online. And this topic for today is essential for your success as you go forward with your journey. Today's topic is all going to be about digital creativity. Ignite your inspiration. And I'm very excited to talk to our guest. Our guest for today is a creative and enthusiastic professional with more than 15 years of experience delivering projects for multinational companies. He leads diverse and creative teams to deliver innovative and strategic design solutions. His persuasive communication and collaboration skills enabled him to effectively drive efficient campaigns that deliver engaging and innovative content every single time. So, without further ado, let me introduce to you our guest for today, Mr. Meiji Sangalang.
Hi guys, good afternoon to all of you. Hi
Hey,
Alec,
Meiji.
thanks for
Hi.
having me here today.
No, thank you. Thank you for accepting our invite. Thank you for sharing your time us today. And we were just talking backstage. Nalaman ko na nasa Dubai ka pala. So how's
Yeah,
pandemic life? How's quarantine life there in Dubai?
well, still active, marami pa ring infected pero under control. Kasi
Okay.
within this area actually is marami silang ginagawang mga precautionary measures. Especially dun sa mga taong namamasyal lahat. So kailangan sumunod sila sa lahat ng mga measures na ini-implement ng government. Otherwise, mafa-fine sila. So kailangan sumunod, which is actually good, especially for those expatriates here living in Dubai or the whole UAE. So we have actually a very strict implementations, rules, and guidelines, to avoid infections of COVID-19. So yeah, it's still it's under control basically. So no need to worry.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. That's great to hear and to see. Like, I hope that everyone, especially our OFWs there in Dubai and in other areas in the world, are safe as well. And so let's dive right in. Before we actually talk about the inspirational stuff, the creativity side, we want to know more about you. So could you tell us, please, a little background, a little short story on
Mm.
who is Mr. Meiji Sangalang?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let me take you to my journey. Actually, from the very beginning, but not too long. So basically, when I was a kid or I was in elementary school, I used to join Linggo ng Wika. So it so happened, luckily, that I actually won the first place that time. So from there, actually, since high school and then during college, so naging ano ko na siya, passion, dinevelop ko na yung acting, yung pagiging creative side ko. So Ganun lang naman actually eh. So, then yung nagkaroon kami ng collaborations with my other team, other schoolmate, especially during college, you know. So doon na nagka sunod-sunod yung or na develop yung ideas, yung creative ideas, you know. So ginather ko lahat yung mga magagaling, no. Then kasi that time meron kaming big project or template that time sa UST. So by team kami, by groups. So kinuha ko lahat yung mga magagaling din. So it's now the result is actually amazing, you know. So I don't know kung nasa na yung malaking frame na yun sa UST, sana naka-display. So I hope makita ko yun someday once na nag-visit ko yung sa UST. So it's so good actually, you know, to develop your or you master your craft, you know. And then actually that back then, my dream was actually to work in a big ad agency, you know. So since then, actually, that's my goal. That's my dream. So when I actually went to Dubai, and actually my first company was not actually ad agency that time. So it's an exhibition company. You know, that's actually my first step here in Dubai. So from there, actually, naready ko na yung sarili ko. And then it so happened, one of my friend, actually, that time, I was teaching also Photoshop. That time, 2004, way back 2004, you know, my previous, matatawag ka na siguro ang families, yung ops na pinanggalingan ko noon, na saan ako na una nagturo dito sa Dubai. You know, so yun yung photography group dito ng mga nauna. No, so from there, actually, I teach actually Photoshop and designs. You know, so because I love teaching, I love teaching. I love sharing my knowledge, you know, to others. You know, so since then, actually, since in the Philippines, you know, I love sharing my knowledge. I love teaching those things that I learned. You know, because back then, again, I used to attend lots of workshops. You know, lots of learnings because I want to develop my skills. I want to develop my creativity. So, yun yung actually naging foundation ko na makuha ko yung or ma-achieve ko yung goal ko, which is actually nangyari since pumunta ko sa Dubai. And so happened that natanggap ako sa isang ad agency na well-known ad agency. And then doon na nagsimula yung talagang yung journey hanggang sa na-achieve ko yung talagang right goal ko. Yung talagang yung position na gusto ko. So from there, actually na-develop. And actually, it's a continuous learning process for me, you know, and for all of us creatives. You know, that's the only key, you know. So I guess that's the most part of it. And then also, photography, I developed my photography skills, you know, so because it's actually connected no matter what. In every creative, in every ideas, there's always a creative photography part. For example, you're actually creating some ideas, key visuals, for example. So there's always a photography involved. So instead of getting someone to do that, why not do it by yourself? You know, so you need to learn that as well. So the thing is, you need to master those things one at a time, you know, in order for you to develop your skills. Yeah. I guess that's for now. That's for now because it's a very long journey. You know?
Okay, I saw your Facebook page. I think it's a relatively new Facebook page. It's called the Meiji Creative Lab. Now, I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
know what prompted you to use the word creative, because I see a lot of people
Oh,
use the word
yeah.
photography, videographer, but you use the word creative. So what prompted you to use the word creative?
Well, actually, yung idea ng Meiji Creative Lab is from coming from my wife. You know, it's actually just a split seconds idea, the name, because we're coming up with a nice name actually for my page or fan page. So from there, actually, it's okay. Why not using Meiji Creative Lab? You know, so doon na nagsimula yung mga post ko ng mga creative. So it's actually a mix of photography and the design. You know, so I'm planning to add more posts in the future. You know, so from videos to animations. and of course photography. So I want to share those also tutorial, so those step by steps. Those are my plans actually, in the near future. So yeah, so I guess that's it.
I want to know, and I know a lot of our watchers also want to know, what did you started with? Like a lot of creative, as you've said earlier, creative is like a never ending process. We try to master it as we go on. But I want to know what you started on, or did you have like a moment in your life that you felt like you could do anything with the creative sides, with the creative aspect, or did you focus on one thing first? And what's the moment that you felt like that?
Well, actually, as I've said, you need to focus one at a time. In order for you to master each skills, or let's say a software that you need to use, the tools. So once you have the creative touch, once you have the creative touch, all you have to do is to develop your skills, or your creative. You need to unleash your creative side. But I believe that all of us actually, all of us has actually creative touch, but somehow we forget those things once we grow up. So what ang ano mo niyan is, kailangan mo siyang hanapin ulit. Yun, nawala na yun. So you need to develop that. It depends on your purpose actually. So if your purpose is like this, okay, so you need to search on that. You need to develop that thing. So like for example, the creative. So on my side, on my part actually, from since the very beginning, I love drawings. That time there's no computer yet. Imagine that. So the evolution of technology is from uh, from uh, from scratch, basically from scratch. So without any computer, without any tech that time, it's completely hand drawn. Especially when I was still in college. So we normally do illustrations, for the ad campaign, for example. And because I'm very very eager to learn, I'm very aggressive. It's a matter of determinations. You need to push yourself to the limit. When it comes to the limit, it's very limitless. So you need to go beyond that. You don't actually don't stop. So all you have to do is just be yourself, pursue your goal. That's it, in order for you to achieve that. So yeah, from there you can easily develop that.
I love how you said like just need to focus on one thing, and once your creativity unleashes, you can now try it with other stuff. And I think a lot of people are stuck because they're focusing on too many things. Like they're
True.
not letting themselves just be themselves. And I really love the way you said that. Just be yourself and
True.
just try to unleash your creativity. So I asked, as I mentioned earlier, with the pandemic going on and a lot of uncertainties happening, I feel like it's really hard for creatives, especially for people who have loved being a creative, but now in this pandemic, especially here in the Philippines, it's a really tough area, but it became tougher. So can you give us what do you think should people do for them to ignite their creativity again, or find their
Mhm.
passion again, or just unleash their creativity?
Okay, yeah, well, that's a good question. Especially nowadays, especially not just in the Philippines, but here in Dubai. So, well, at some point, especially for creative, if you're actually spending your time the whole day in front of the computer, so sometimes you feel monotonous, or you feel burnout. But actually, my what I did was, in order for you to to divert, or you need to create diversion, apart from doing some creatives. So you need to uh, do some research. So let's say you're doing something, and then you have another laptop, for example. So watch some movies. I love watching movies. Especially techie thing, whether this one is more creative touch or storytelling, especially Marvel, those things, or DC or something like that. Those creative ideas, because from there actually you can actually get some ideas in order for you to ignite your creativity. You need to see some inspiration, whether this one is on YouTube or online creative platform. So you need to do lots of research. So stand, let's say, have some coffee, then have a break for 5 to 10 minutes, and then go back and then do your stuff. So let's say if you're doing every day the same project, things like that, in order for you to divert those things, or to be not to be burned out, you need to have some sort of diversions, like what I've said earlier. So watch some movies, or use have some headsets while listening. So even if you don't watch, actually, just do your stuff, and then from there, or even actually, let's say, from your backyard, or from your uh, terrace, for example, have some coffee for a while, take a break, and then all of a sudden you will actually boom, think, so you will actually automatic there's some ideas on it, because sometimes it happens, especially for us creative, sometimes mental block ka, so sa sobrang kakaisip mo, so ang tendency wala. So pag dumating yung time na yun, stop ka muna, pause for a while, and then do some search, or let's say in YouTube, do some online, or let's say what you exactly really want. For example, you want to develop those things, do some research. There's a lot. It's a lot actually everywhere. Actually, every online creative platform available na lahat nun. All you have to do is to find it. It's all you have to do is to open the door in order for you to see your path. So it's something like that. It's how you actually. It's actually your journey begins. You need to find those ways, similar to what you're doing. If you're burnt out, if you're, let's say, during pandemic, there's a lot of things that you can do, even if you're at home, actually. Just I've said, those things actually will help you develop and ignite your creativity. So watch movies couple of times, so especially Pinterest, actually, especially Pinterest, or let's say Envato. There, those sites actually, it helps you develop, especially those new trends. Especially those new trends happening, because every month, every year, there's always changing, and especially in terms of designs. So why not sitting all day and do your stuff, and then how you can develop your ideas, by means of what? Either you get collaborations, or if not, talk to your friends, call them, or again, do some research. That's it. That's all I've said. That's the only key.
I love how you said, like, you gotta find inspiration through your research. Now, a lot of people, when they hear the word research, they feel like, it's an additional work, right? But what you're saying is technically researching in a way that you're having fun. Like, your mind is
Yes.
relaxed. You take a cup of coffee, you sit down on your balcony, you watch a movie. Those ways you could actually gain some inspiration by doing this, not parang kakaibang paraan ng pag-research. Pero
Yeah.
you keep your fuel, keep parang you let your mind wander, parang ganon, 'di ba? And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. That's true.
and that's amazing stuff. Now, I think a lot of people who are getting stuck, there's this one thing that they are overwhelmed with. It's the fear of not being good enough, or no, not being at level with their previous versions, or their previous selves. So can you tell us, because I know that you probably have been dealing with fear as well. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you deal, or how you manage when you're scared of, or you're
Hmm.
just having this fear?
Yes, actually, when you say fear, actually, nandiyan na yan sa atin, actually, innate na yan eh. So, every creative, or every individual, every person's, you need to face your fear. I face a lot of fears in my life. I struggle a lot. So but then I never give up. you know So for the creative part, actually, it happens, sometimes or somehow that your designs is not good enough. Well, it happens. You will fail at some point. You will fail, fail, and fail. You will fail big, as Denzel Washington said in the one of the motivational speech. I love watching those motivational speech. Because you will learn a lot, from them. So those are my inspirations, by the way. Again, when you face your fear, yung nandiyan yung takot na mag-create ka ng baka hindi magustuhan ito or what, or let's say yung designs mo hindi magustuhan. Well, it happens, but you need to face that. So do your stuff and do another one as an variations. For example, on my part, I always do variations. Follow your instinct. Your instinct, that's the only way. So who knows that your ideas, because sometimes most of us actually creatives are introvert. Me also, I'm introvert. I'm actually very shy actually to talk publicly. But I managed to conquer those fears. So because you need to speak no matter what. You need to communicate with them, especially those people na involved din sa creative, na magbibigay sa iyo ng creative brief. So you need to speak with them no matter what. You need to understand those brief. You need to collaborate with them. You need to understand what's the creative brief is. Things like that. So there's some point na yung ideas mo hindi mag-work. Yes, that's true. Nangyayari yun even sa akin, before. But from there, actually, you will learn a lot. Because why? Because you will develop even more. You will innovate yourself, innovate your ideas. So that's the only way, actually, in order for you need to fail at some point. No matter what, all of us will fail. We experience some failure in our lives. So now, again, as I've said, you need to, it's okay to fail. But the thing is, you will develop, you will master your craft sooner or later. That's the way it is.
That's an amazing view of failure. That's a really, I think, having the right mindset when it comes to failure actually leads you to a more to a higher chance of success. Now, as you've
Yes.
mentioned, failure is an important step for unleashing your creativity, and I want to dive into that a little bit more. Can you tell us a specific time in your life that you failed so hard, and how did it change you, or how did you turn it around?
Well, for example, when I started working in the big ad agency here in Dubai, that time they asked me to design some sort of a 3D stuff, which that time I don't know how to make 3D that time. But again, uh, my personality is, once you're aggressive or once you actually have determinations in yourself, you will definitely learn no matter what. So I studied software. I studied the software, in just a matter of overnight. I just learned the basic how to do it, and then the next day, imagine I can do it. So that's actually how it works. Is if you believe in yourself that you can do it, then you can do it. But if you cannot, if you believe, let's say, if you have those fears in your life that you cannot do it, then you cannot do it at all. So yeah, that's the thing. So especially sa mga creative, since nag-start ako mag-work, there's some talagang point na meron kang talagang uh, failure na mangyayari. But again, as I've said, it's a matter of determination, in order for you to conquer it. Yeah.
Great stuff. I mean, what you said about, I think you need to hit a point muna na hindi mo alam yung ginagawa mo bago mo siya matutunan, di ba? I think that's
Yes,
the
yes,
first
yes.
step. That's the first step of actually becoming a better version of yourself, of unleashing that creativity. Kasi, as you've said, you've hit in a place na pinagawa ka ng 3D tas hindi mo kaya, and then, okay, sige, hindi ko alam to pero aaralin ko. Right? That
Yeah.
that that continuation na aaralin ko to. After mo sabihin na hindi mo alam, I think that's what separates the people who actually breaks that barrier of fear and failure. Now
Exactly.
that's really amazing stuff.
Exactly.
Now
Exactly.
there are people, a lot of people actually are in their homes, and they want to unleash their creativity, to reignite or at least ignite their creativity during this pandemic. What do you recommend? Are there any tasks or activities that you would like for at least starters, sa mga taong gustong magsimula? For the people who don't know what they want to do, but they know that they have this creative juice just waiting for them to unleash. What do you advise them? What do you recommend them?
Well, I think the best way is go online. You know, focus one at a time. As I've said a while ago. Let's say if you want this particular tool, to learn, you already have creativity. For example, you have your creativity, you have creative stuff, ideas, things like that, but you don't know how to do it digitally. Digitally. Then it's another story. You know, what you're going to do? You're going to ask someone to do it for you? Of course not. So why not do it for yourself? Study, study. Focus one tool at a time, because you cannot actually, like for example, you cannot serve two masters at the same time. You need to focus on each tool in order for you to create your ideas, to develop, or to become a reality. If you have these ideas, things like that, how are you going to work this out? How to make this as as a visually appealing. So in order for you to do that, then you need to go online learnings. That's the way it is, actually, especially nowadays. Technology is there. All you have to do is to study. Always study, continuous learning. Even me, actually, even me, at my age, I'm getting old. you know so imagine, since the beginning, since way back 1991, 1992, 1994. I was still in McDonald's that time. I was actually in-house artist, back then. So imagine the journey from there actually till here. So it's a lot. It's a very long journey. In order for you to master, it takes time, takes years. So it's not actually necessary, actually, for you to master at the same time. It's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen overnight. You need to spend more time, effort, for each tool for you to master it. Otherwise, if you keep on jumping from one tool to another, then you cannot do it. You cannot master it. Believe me. You need to finish this tool first, understand what it is, and then after that, as soon as you finish, and then jump to another one. So otherwise, that's actually my suggestions, my recommendations for you guys, especially those aspiring designers, especially for those who have actually goals sooner or in the future. So you need to focus yourself one at a time, in order for you to succeed. You know, don't rush yourself. Don't rush yourself. Spend more times on e-learnings. Those stuff, research. As I've said, do some research, then combine them all. That's what I did, actually. Combine them all. References, vision boarding, things like that. Think out of the box. Think differently. That's the only way you can actually unleash or ignite your creativity. That's the thing.
That's really nice when you said that you just need to go out and try. Everything's available. Almost everything is available on the internet, and we just need to actually get our hands dirty. Just go on the internet and study. That's the first
Yes.
step. And I think we here at ESME Philippines are doing our best to at least try to share the knowledge, to at least get people to try and just figure out what they can do or what they can improve on themselves. And you mentioned earlier, focus on one tool at a time. But okay, let's say a lot of people who are watching right now, they say like, okay, I want to start now. I want to study one tool. I want to start learning one tool. But I don't, can you give us what you think are the tools? Can you give us, can you specify those tools for us? Are they video editing softwares?
Okay.
What are the tools? What are the tools that they need to learn?
Well, for me, actually, I started back then. I started Corel Draw that time, PC base. I bought some thick book, in order for me to learn those tools. So since then, after that, I started learning Photoshop. Way back 1994, if I was not mistaken, or 1995. Imagine you're using the laid back machine. That time's what they call that, Power PC. Imagine the Photoshop tools before. It was just very minimal tools only. Imagine that how very limited in terms of execution. So but now they develop even more. There's a lot of features happening. So every year they develop lots of features in Photoshop. Not just Photoshop, but Illustrator or other graphic software. Or let's say video editing, things like that, which is actually what Adobe is doing right now. So they package everything. So once I'm overwhelmed ka, but take it easy. Take note, take it easy. As I've said, master each tool one at a time. Because it takes time for you to understand, to master it. Learn the basics, study it, implement it. And then once you're confident enough to do that, then you can jump to another one. So those tools, Photoshop for digital, let's say digital composing, which is actually the most commonly tools worldwide, especially those agencies, ad agencies, Illustrator, InDesign, Photoshop, After Effects, Premiere, and even actually XD. If you master those softwares that I mentioned, wow, you're actually well equipped, plus your creativity and plus your photography. What else? So you're like a one-man soldier, one-man army. So for sure, once you master those, but I guess as I've said, it takes years for you to master those, but you need to be patient. Patience is a virtue, right? So there's a saying, patience is a virtue. So you need to have a long patience in order for you to succeed. Even me, I don't actually consider myself successful enough, you know, because I'm still striving hard. Still keep on learning new things because evolution technologies are evolving.
Yeah.
So you need to learn more and more and more. You cannot stop. You cannot stop. Maybe I will stop as soon as I'm old enough. Once I retire. But if you can still do it, why not? Masters those photographies on the side. If I feel burned out, I go, I do some photography stuff, to divert my, my, myself, if you burn out or you're, let's say, ano ka na, bored ka na sa buhay mo, because you keep on designing ever since, for past 2 decades, for example, so 15 years is dito pa lang, wala pa yung sa experience ko sa Pilipinas. Kapag pinagsama mo yung 2 decades na. Can you imagine that? But then again, for me, I focus on that particular field. Don't jump on other things. If you wish to be a successful designer, then you need to focus on one. So try to reach that. If this is your dream is just a dream. Dream without goal is just a dream. So again, dreams with goals, then push that goal. You need to achieve that. You need to push yourself to the limit, go beyond, limitless. So those things actually. So for those designers, aspiring designers or photographers, for example, just be yourself. Just as I've said, you need to study those softwares because that's actually the number one tools that you need. That's those softwares that I mentioned. Master those, and then wala na siguro nga hanapin pa sa'yo. Kumbaga nasa sa'yo na lahat. So that's true. Let's say for example, you have client. Can you do this thing? Can you do the touching? Yes, I can do that. Can you do the design? Can you make something? Yes, I can do that. So there's no. Actually, you cannot say no because you can do it. You know, so unlike some people, for example, if you actually changing your mind, you know, uh, changing your mind and wala kang focus sa sarili mo, then walang mangyayari. If, let's say, parating mo nirarush yung sarili mo, no, I want to learn this as soon as possible. No, that's not the way it is. You need to spend more time, as I've said, more time and focus, you know, just just do it. Finish the course, finish the online course, whether this is a short or long course. Then finish, understand, practice. Number one, again, practice. The word practice, practice, practice makes perfect. Sometimes, or it happens that don't feel bad if you actually did some crappy designs. That's part of your design work. It happens. Let's say if you have some couple of designs, print it, post it on your wall, and then visit the next day or two, and a couple of days, and you will actually notice that no, I think I can do that. I can do it better. I need to revise it. Imagine once you do that, you will see that, oh yes, yeah, this is much better than before. That's actually that's my technique. I don't want to send this first to my client until such time that I'm actually convinced, that this is okay. It's not about a quantity but quality. Creative designs is about quality, not quantity. Hindi yung para kang alam mo yung namamakyaw sa palengke. So na pakyawan to, ganyan. No, you have to do it. Let's say if you're fast, okay, you master it, you're fast, but make sure this one is quality before you send it to your client. Otherwise, first impressions last, ika nga, di ba? So if your job or your work is impressive, and then sooner or later they will call you again. They will keep on calling you. That's actually true. It happens to me all the time. You never expect, you'll never know. You'll never know, especially during pandemic. Nowadays, tatawag na lang sa'yo minsan, okay, kasi pwede naman remote, sa creative, pwede kang work remotely eh. Diba? Hindi mo naman kailangan na pumunta sa office to do that, Once you have your computer at home, that's the number one thing, computer, a strong computer, at least, it's good specs, and then you have the software installed, mabubuhay ka na, So, yeah, that's all I can say, for those people who wants to pursue their career.
Yeah, that's really mind blowing. I think you've said a lot of ideas and thoughts that are really insightful, that are really helpful for the people who want to be creative or who want to unleash their creativity. It's like we're having this master class right now with Mr. Meiji. Now, I just want to follow up on one thing though. There's people like, okay, they know the tools, right? But they stop midway because
Oh,
they
yeah.
feel like they have this imposter syndrome. Like they can see a lot of people that are better than me. So why should I
Mm-hmm.
pursue this? So how do you what do you advise people who need to gain their confidence on how can they be confident with their uniqueness?
Well, first of all, don't compare yourself to others. If you compare yourself to others, then wala kang mararating. So that's the one thing na mali mong magagawa, sa paniniwala ko. Kasi once na sinabi mo sa sarili mo na, mas magaling siya kaysa sa akin. No, that's not actually true. If your thinking is like that, if your mindset is like that, then you cannot do it at all, as I've said a while ago. So always believe in yourself. Believe in yourself that you can do it. As I've said, you can do it. Why not? We're just actually human. God created us. God, we just actually borrowed this talent, this creative from Him. All you have to do is explore, search on it, find it. So tao lang din siya na may creative. So happen siguro na nauna lang siya. Then ikaw nahuli. Okay? But sooner or later, mapupunta ka din doon. Right? So bakit mo i-compare yung sarili mo doon sa taong mas magaling sa iyo? No. Actually, yun yung magandang actually example, na maging inspiration mo. Na balang araw, magiging ganyan din ako. No? Huwag tayong yung maging envy. Yung envy sa sarili natin, yung inggit. Once na magkaroon tayo nun, walang mangyayari sa iyo. So you need to be true to yourself. Be inspiration, yung mag-inspiration sila sa iyo. Hindi yung mainggit ka na mas magaling sila kaysa sa akin, no. Because why not sooner or later or soon? Mas magaling ka pa sa kanya. Right? So all you have to do is to develop your creativity, your ideas, your skills. Creativity, second is the skills. If you have those two, then you can do anything.
I'm really enjoying this conversation, and I almost forgot that we have a lot of people who are watching this webinar right now. So again, if you're
Great.
watching this, I hope you're
That's
learning
good to
from
know.
this short course. And we have actually a question from our YouTube channel, and if you could just show us here. Okay, here, Miss Chair Tanchico asked, "How many allowable revisions should be a standard when submitting to a client?"
3. At least 3. Nothing more. Nothing more. Not 5, not 10, not 12, not 15, or not even 20. Why? Because if they keep on asking revisions or revisions all the time or options, it's very hard for them to choose. So now, if you have 3 revisions, for example, or let's say assuming na marami kang ginawang revisions or different types of options or revisions, it will take time for you also. If that means you're actually you're not confident enough for your work. But again, as I've said, allowable revisions for each client, for each job is actually maximum between 2 to 3, nothing more. That's it. It's 3 revisions, and then after that, let's say for your rate, for example, is you did some designs and then you did 3 revisions. And then the next one, if they keep on changing, then you need to add more rates. That's the thing. You need to add value to yourself. That's it. You need to have some limit. So yeah, that's it. Nothing more. That's actually the standard of number of allowable revisions in every designs. But if you actually exceeds more than 3 revisions, well, it's like what do you call this? Like an endless revisions for you and for the client. So otherwise, the brief is not that clear if you keep on revising it. So make sure at first is you need to understand the brief, the creative brief. Talk to them first. This and this and that. Okay, this one is this. All the elements, all the assets that you need. Grab them all the assets, and then do your part. And then second revision, you submit it. Second revision, okay, it's fine. Third revision should be the final one, because that means everything is there. All the feedback, you followed all the feedbacks, and that's it. Nothing more.
So I hope that answers your questions. You got 3 revisions to do, and there are people who are I wanna just let's just get a quick touch on this. There are people who are like really hard on themselves, like as you said earlier, quality over quantity, but most of the time they aim for a very high quality, and the ending is like they don't even post their stuff, they don't even submit their stuff. So what can you say about that for the people who are like really obsessed with quality? Is that a good thing, or is that something that need to be managed?
Well, actually, in terms of quality, that's a good thing for us creative. Because you're after all, you're after with the quality and not the
Okay.
quantity. Even if this one is just one and perfectly fine, it's 100% you're confident enough for your work, why not? That's why the quality should be there at all times. So make sure that all your work should be high quality, 100% sure before you submit it. Otherwise, if you're just actually submitting just for the sake of submitting deadlines or meeting the deadlines, and then that's not good at all. Your mindset should be quality. all the time, as a designer, as a creative, you know.
Okay.
So you need to what do you call this, yung iset mo sa sarili mo na ganito dapat ang work ko parate kasi harap-hanapin ka after, you know.
Okay, that's amazing. Now we have another question from Miss Faith Makoto. Again, if you have any more questions, we could just send them right in the comment section, and we'll post here in the live stream. Okay, so Miss Faith Makoto asked, "Have you
Mm.
experienced creative jealousy, and how do you deal with it?"
Oh yes, sometimes I experience those creative jealousy. You know, it is actually pretty normal for us creative. You know, but then again, um, it's not actually about jealousy, but how you going to deal with it. You know, so in what way you're going to deal with it. You know, well, the only thing is uh, ignite your creative juices. You know, for sure, why not? As I've said, what maybe you're better than them, you know. So that's pretty normal that all of us creative, you know, some jealousy. This one, no, this one is much better, you know. You should be proud. You should be proud, actually. You should be proud, because from there you will learn. Why not? Why not? All you need is actually acceptance, you know. You need to accept. Sometimes you need to accept to yourself that somehow someday that there's one person that's better than you. It happens, you know. It's pretty normal, you know. But from there, actually, you can actually develop yourself as a creative, you know. No need to be jealous, but it's again, it's normal. But from jealousy, convert that to creative. Be more creative, you know. Then from there, that will serve as your inspiration. After all, you know, that's the thing.
I love that. That use your jealousy as an inspiration, right? You could
Yes.
look at other people. Just make sure that you don't let yourself be occupied with that jealousy and use it now. Maybe that's better talaga, pero maybe one
Yeah.
day, soon
Yeah.
enough, right? You'll be
but
at
but then but then as additional, not all of us are the same, you know. Sometimes other people actually take this seriously or something like that, you know, na kuminsan iba-iba tayo ng mindset, you know. So again, you need to divert jealousy into creative, something creative to develop yourself more, even more, you know. That's how you actually develop yourself as creative. You need to learn more and more. Maybe, you know, there's something missing sa sarili mo. Then why not search those missing part in order for you to have full visually appealing creative ideas, you know, from that jealousy, you know. But again, take it as a positive way, not a destructive way, you know. It helps a lot, you know, to see those works which is actually stunning, you know, very appealing, very creative touch. That's actually for us creative is actually good, you know. But because if you're actually seeing those crappy designs, things like that, how can you develop yourself even more? You know, you need to see you need to see a better idea, better creatives than yours. You know, it happens because all of us creatives is actually getting those ideas from other ideas as well, other creatives. Then all you have to do is to mix it, you know, to mix those ideas into one. And then sooner or later you will see that, oh wait, I come up with this something like a better ideas than before. It happens, you know, especially me. I love digital compositing, image compositing. I love creating like uh, a fantasy art or digital art, shall we say digital art, you know, composting things like that, you know. So I always check those, let's say, movie posters. That's actually those posting in Google, for example. Oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, but I want to do better than that. You know, why not? You're creative. I think this is limitless. You need to do it even more. Why not? There's no barrier But if you think that there's a barrier between you and those other side, then you're not going to do it. You need to jump and then see for yourself. You know. So from that jealousy, from that creative, it's a good thing. You know. But it's pretty normal for us, as I've said. You know.
I love that. Now you kind of mentioned that you do like what do you call this, perspective. Ano yung parang binabago mo yung I saw the pictures you have. It's really stunning. The photos that you take on Instagram and even on your website,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
like um, we can see the pictures like just plain on a square, right? But when I saw
Mm.
your pictures, it's like this 3D, 4D. It's really para siyang illusion, and at the same
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
very visually pleasing. So can I just ask? I don't want to make this a bragging situation, but can I just ask, what's your proudest moment as a creative?
Proudest moment. Um. Well, I guess. How would I say that? When I mastered the craft, my tools actually, when I actually implementing my ideas visually, you know, just like actually those posts that I had in my social media, you know, because I'm proud of that, you know. It's a matter of spending more time in your creative juices, creative stuff, you know. So I developed myself, I mastered it for a long time, for such a long time. So, and then from there, actually, once you execute and implement your ideas, your creative ideas visually, then I guess magiging proud ka na sa sarili mo na nagawa mo eh.
Uh,
You know? So, sometimes it happens that for me na parang hirap gawin nito, you know? It's hard to do it. But then if you think that way, then again, as I've said, you cannot do it. All you have to do is believe in yourself, as I've said. Then sooner or later, you will see, oh yes, I can do it. You can do it actually, which is actually I did it, you know, long time ago, you know, because for me, I don't to limit myself into this, to that particular, you know, tool, things like that. I know I can do it, especially let's say animation, things like that. Before hindi ko naman na yan ano eh, nagagawa, hindi ko kaya, hindi ko siya forte, you know. But again, because of determination and um, yung gusto mong matuto talaga na dito, no? I spent more time, even months actually, even months, to understand the interface of that tool, how to do it, and I even actually subscribe, purchase the online learnings to do that. You know, so it's been hours, so many hours before I completed the course, and then after all, I'm very proud that I can do it after all. You know, so kaya mo pala siya kapag gusto mo. Kaya, walang mahirap, no? So all you have to do is grab that opportunity, grab that what you want, you know, focus on your goal, you know. So sooner or later magiging proud ka sa sarili mo pag nagawa mo na. Especially marami na rin ako nagawa din na mga na nagustuhan. Siguro yung mga nagustuhan ng mga clients. So doon pala maging proud ka ng sarili mo eh. You know? So once na ma-execute mo visually and very impressive na ideas or yung execution, isang achievement na yun para sa iyo at para din sa client mo kasi hanap-hanapin ka, you know. Hindi mo na kailangan pang mag-follow up sa kanila or tawagan pa kung meron ba silang trabaho or what. They will call you no matter what. Why? Because they trust you. You know? They trust your work. That's the thing. You know? They will find you no matter what. Hahanapin ka nila sa social media or sa LinkedIn, for example, you know? They will call you 100%. It happens to me all the time. You know? Just believe in yourself. That's it. And then have faith. You know? Sa taas. Yun lang. Ibibigay niyo sa iyo yan no matter what. But you have to wait. You know, huwag kang magmadali. Patience is a virtue, as I've said. You know, babagsak sa iya ng kusa. Minsan hindi ka na magkakandaugaga. Dahil ganun ka kaano rin eh, 'di ba? Kasi ganun ka kaano sa sarili mo na yung mga nagawa mo sa sarili mo na naging proud ka or naging ano ka sa sarili mo, na master mo na yung craft mo, then I you know, so as I've said, once you master your craft, and then you will definitely, they will find you, you know, they will find you because nakuha mo na eh. Nandun ka na. Then all you have to do is continue. No, don't stop. Keep walking, kumbaga. Parang yung alak, di ba? Keep walking. There you go. You
that
know?
that was amazing. That was incredible. We have just this was a very inspirational webinar. You know, it's not just about being enlightening the creative tools that we need to unleash, but it's also very inspiring. So thank you so much for this time and opportunity to talk with you, Mr. Miji.
You're
And
welcome, Alec.
I wanna ask. You know, I know you've been talking about, you know, in trying to inspire a lot of our young creatives and even the people who are creatives right now. But I just want to ask, for the people who have not, you know, joined us from the very start, I just want to ask if you could leave us today with just one particular advice, what would it be?
Well, for those people na who wants actually to master their craft, you know, or to those people aspiring to become a designers, or let's say an art director or a photographer, you know. So just follow your dreams. Follow your dreams. Wag kayong mainip. Wag kayong mainip, you know. Just be patient, you know. And then sooner or later, makukuha mo yung gusto mo. There is no overnight thing, you know, for you to master those craft, you know, those tools. You need to be patient, you know. So just like what I did, you know, since nag-start ako ng journey dito sa field ko, you know, I think hindi ko naman siguro masasabi na perfectly master it, but I keep learning, you know. I keep learning. For you guys out there, keep learning. That's the only key. Continue, focus on your goal, follow your dreams. And sooner or later, you will get it no matter what. Don't change your field to another. You know, just follow what you're good at. You know, kung saan ka magaling, dun ka, yun ang i-develop mo. That's the only way. Especially if you're a photographer, then do it. You know, learn those things, those a lot. You know, as a photographer, for example, you should be a well-rounded photographer, for example, not just particular shooting portrait. Why not learning other things? Portrait, landscape, product, fashion, things like that, or food. You know, learn those things. If you're creative, actually, you can do it. Especially creative lighting, things like that. You know, you can actually do some amazing stuff. For designs, the same thing. You know, for designs, again, I said a lot of tips a while ago that you can simply do lots of research, spend more time online. First, for those new designers aspiring, is actually master the tools because you already have the creativity. All you have to do is unleash it. How is to master the tools in order for you to implement it, to execute those ideas, you know, not asking someone else to do it for you. Okay? All you do is do it by yourself. Just do it, ika nga, sa, yung sa Nike, di ba?
Nike.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just do it. Okay, my cat.
Okay.
Okay. So just do it. That's all you need. You know, patience, patience, patience. You know, master one at a time. You know, soon you will learn. You will learn. Promise. I guarantee you, guys. You know, that's it.
Thank you. That was amazing. And before we actually go, I just want to say that for everyone who attended this seminar, you can actually get your digital certificate of attendance. Just visit www.esme.ph, and we will also post. I think the link is in the comment section of this live webinar. So go there, get your certificate, and browse all the other past webinars, and you can also get their certificate as well. So again, Mr. Meiji, Thank you so much for joining us and
Thank you,
sharing
Dan.
your
Thank you so
words
much
of
for
wisdom.
having me. Yeah. So now I hope na may mga natutunan yung mga nag-join sa atin. And that's, as I've said, that's the key for you to be a successful designer soon. You know, just
I
take it seriously.
I'm pretty sure that
Thank you so much.
a lot of our viewers actually learned a lot from this. But please share us. Let us know if they want to learn more about you. Where can they find you?
Well, I'm actually everywhere. You can actually search on me on social media. I have my website, things like that. And of course, dito sa ESME Philippines, So we actually preparing the master class for for this tool, So hope to see you soon, guys. You know.
That will be something to look out for. And if you
Yes.
guys want to follow Mr. Meiji Sangalang, just search for him on Google. You can find him there, and it will lead you guys to his social media accounts. And go give him a follow and look out for the upcoming masterclass here on esme.ph. Now, before we
Yes.
come to the end of this webinar, I'd like to invite everyone, if you want to learn more and increase your knowledge and skills, just visit www.esme.ph. We have free and masterclass courses where you can enroll to whatever course that is relevant to you. Courses that you are passionate about. So again, thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Miji. I had an
You're
amazing
welcome.
time.
Thank you also, Alec.
Thank
All
you for
right.
everyone
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
who joined us. Maraming salamat. I hope you guys have an amazing week ahead of you. Again, this is Alec Cuenca, the podcast host of Small Talk Podcast. Go check out my podcast. It's available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Follow me on social media as well at Alec Cuenca. And please do not forget to give this page, esme.ph, a like and a follow for you guys to be updated for whatever is coming on our way. So maraming salamat again. Have a great night, have a great afternoon, have a great morning kung nasan man kayo ngayon. And maraming salamat po sa lahat.
The ESME Philippines is a free learning platform offered to Filipinos who are looking for a way to learn and build real employable skills that are in demand. Learn marketing, entrepreneurship, photography,
Wait lang.
culinary, advertising, videography, business operations, gardening, personal development, health and fitness, finance and accounting, music, and academics. Learn and share your skills today. Sign up now at esme.ph.